Over the last decade, Canada has begun to form the foundations of a successful parasoccer community. Through the hard work of national team coaches Drew Ferguson and Doug Lusk, the Canadian parasoccer team has energized athletes from coast to coast and spread the first seeds of awareness about the game. The national team has been successful and has even picked up a bronze medal at the Para-Pan American Games. But beyond continuing to develop athletes at the elite level, Canada's parasoccer players are encouraging clubs, coaches, and the country's governing bodies to do more to make the game more accessible to athletes with a disability. Just like the majority of soccer players, some of Canada's most active para-athletes have been in love with the game since a young age.
Well, I've played sports my whole life. Played soccer around 9. That's when I started. I started in my Collingwood league. It's Collingwood Optimus Youth Soccer Team.
I'm around. I'm 5 years old. I started playing soccer.
When I was 4 years old.
I actually started at 5, I think, with my friend, and I just kept going.
Canada's parasoccer players have varying disabilities, which can affect their ability to play the game in a number of different ways.
I have mild cerebral palsy on my right-hand side. It affects my whole right side, so my right arm and my right leg.
My physical disability is on my right side, which actually affects on my arm and my leg.
I have mild cerebral palsy on my right side, my leg and my arm. Sometimes when I'm I have to do like a passing drill or push-ups, it affects me because I have to use more of my left arm for push-ups, or I have trouble controlling where my foot goes, like the angle of my foot.
I have cerebral palsy on both legs, mild cerebral palsy on both legs.
My physical disability is a limp in my right leg. Well, my whole right side of my body is affected. It doesn't really affect my training right now, but when I do headers, it kind of gives me headaches.
My disability is cerebral palsy. Affects my legs. I have a little bit in the shoulders and some of the hands.
Just like for any young player, it takes support to become involved in the game, and many young parasoccer players have been helped along their way by their families and by members of their community.
Well, I got support from my soccer club, which was the Collingwood Optimus Youth Soccer Team. They supported me very well. They helped me train more. They let me go on teams if I didn't have enough money to do it, just to train more. And I mean, my dad helped me, my teammates, my friends, coaches, relatives. Pretty much had support everywhere I looked.
My mom, my entire family was influencing me and encouraging me to keep trying no matter what happened. If I messed up on something, they encouraged me to try again until I got it.
I got a lot of support, at least from the doctors back home. Not necessarily on the soccer standpoint of it with the CP, but with the CP I got a lot of support.
But where the game was easily accessed by some, others felt severely restricted in soccer as a result of their disability.
I guess maybe I wasn't pushed as much by my parents as maybe I could have been or should have been to play the sport, because they more likely wanted me to play the sports that I could play, where I thought maybe back then I could play maybe a soccer or something like that. And so in that sense, but no, I didn't play any club or anything like that. Oh, well, I guess the barriers were, at the club level, I probably wouldn't have been able to play. I probably wouldn't have been, they would have looked at me and I would have sat on the bench probably, I would think. So in terms of my disability being more severe than, say, some other CPs, yeah, I probably would have been on the bench.
One of the clear messages that came out of our discussions with the para-athletes is that there simply needs to be more programming that specifically targets and reaches out to athletes with a disability. The hope is that these programs will give the players the right environment to develop in, while also raising awareness about the parasoccer game.
I think just even getting a bunch of CP athletes or athletes with disabilities together to even play is one of the most important things, right? Because if you're playing by yourself all the time, you don't know how good you are, and you don't know how, are you getting better? You don't know. Next time somebody sees you, they'll critique you. But if you play with other people, then you can sort of gauge yourself and sort of say, okay, Because if you play with able-bodied people, you're always going to be, you know, a little bit slower, a little bit weaker. But if you play with, you know, other CP athletes, you can measure yourself better, right? So to say, okay, where am I? How better am I getting? And, you know, plus the camaraderie that sort of brings when you have a bunch of people who are going through the same things you are.
I guess being able to play, being able to play in a league or something, people aren't always as accepting. If you tell them, oh, you have a disability, then they automatically think that you, I don't know, you can't play, but it's not the case. You should be, if I say I have a disability, then maybe just be like, okay, we'll come out and see you or something. And like, I've had some experience where I've said, hey, I have a disability, and then I get totally shot down. So it's like, see me first, then make your decision. So that's the hard part, is finding the play.
Just more awareness, because I know, especially back home, there's not much awareness of CP soccer or soccer for disabilities. So just get more awareness out there so more people know, more people could play.
I mean, I'd like to see more awareness is the first thing. The second thing I'd like to see is more, maybe more programs at a community level, right? Especially for younger kids to play, because I didn't really get to even start playing until I was like 10, 11, if you can call it that, right? So I mean, the younger you can start, you know, the better you can be, the more you can aspire to, I think.
In addition to strengthening the game at a community level, Canada's national team players are also keen to continue building the game at an elite level, believing that everything the national team does will continue to grow the parasport across the country.
Incentive now is to play, to try and get a position on the national team, to try and be the #1 goalie, to travel with the team and that.
What keeps me going is that the thrill and honor to represent Canada at a competitive level.
Can't say much about the parasport other than it's excellent. I love playing for it.
And the goal for you down the road is to win a medal?
Win a gold medal. We've won bronze and silver, now we need a gold.